Computer. The stream is now live. The recording has started. Welcome to the Kareem Talk Celebration Extravaganza. That's the part where all the the audience
Period.
that
Praise be to Allah.
praise be to Allah. So glad that everyone who's here could join us. Thank you all so much. Not for just being here, but for being guests and being a part of the very first ever season of Kareem Talks. It's come a long way since I started on little IG Live, you know. And now we're here. I'm on Zoom. Facebook's popping, Instagram popping. Do they say popping nowadays? No, yes, no. I don't know. But I praise be to Allah. Come a long way, and I can't wait for you all to experience season 2. The roster as of today is now official, meaning if there's anyone that wanted to back out, they can no longer do so. They are locked in permanently. So unless emergency circumstances, etc., etc. But I can't wait. It is stacked. It's you know how when you go to movies and the sequels, it's a 50-50 that'll be good, 50-50 or it'll be bad. I am absolutely positively I am thoroughly impressed with the second season of people that I have lined up. I have full and complete confidence that season 2 will blow the first season out the water. But season 1 will always be remembered as the first of its kind, the first rollout. And I really wanted to have this celebration, not as a celebration of me, because even though I'm the host of the show, but a celebration of you all because of everything that you all brought to the show and really helping me to stick to a tagline from politics to pop culture, from religion to recipes and everything in between. There's nothing this show has not covered. And if I haven't covered it, it will be covered soon. So, God willing. Thank you.
Thank you. She read my mind.
Yes, God willing.
Yeah, we like her, Kareem.
Yes.
We like.
Yes. But this is just a big thank you to all of you. And I don't know if anyone's going to come. And I don't know if anyone else is going to come. So I'm just going to. It's not my best work, but I wanted to put this together to show you all. And then we can begin our Q&A session. And then, of course, I have to talk about the top 5 episodes for both male and female and overall. Although I've been saying it all year, so you should know it at this point. And we're gonna get a total tally of the streams for season 1. And I'm gonna unveil something that I've been working on for a minute now. So praise be to Allah. Of course, not everyone was able to make it due to meetings and such or spending time with family because it is New Year's Eve. So I'm grateful to those who could make it. With that being said, let's share the movie. Let me know if you all can see it. It's coming up right now. Yeah. Sound should be all the way up. Oh, share sound. Yes. Yes. Thank you. It's not. It's. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hopefully it didn't freeze or anything. No. All these notifications in the background. Can't be doing that.
That's normally the stuff that happens to me.
There we go. Can you all see that?
It's coming.
It's coming. Hold on. All right, it should be full. And pressing play. Can you all hear it?
Hey, bro. Go ahead and go first, bro. I remember way back when we was in the basement, music blasting, extra ammo added to the passion, and the fruits that we bought was classics. Round this time, knew we wasn't average, nigga. With it to the ashes, nigga. This became a means to add the figures and had a family living lavish with us. Stumbled on a couple rocks in a row and still had people rocking in droves. Ain't reciprocate to popular shows. How we gon' break the popular quote? Trash with some niggas, popular foe. A glimpse of how being popular goes. Fuck it, let's get money, keep the shit running. Blue face hunters, get us out the dungeon. Lord, please bless me, shit. Cause life gon' catch me quick. And devil tryna catch me slip. I'm just tryna make me rich. Lord, please bless me, shit. Cause life gon' catch me quick. And devil tryna catch me slip. I'm just tryna make me rich. Bound to catch a vibe, family living right, live your dream. Put your hands up high, wave them side to side. Don't you fret tonight, live your dream. Live your dream, live your dream, live your dream, live your dream, live your, hey. Yo, check it. Look in the mirror, find another you. Look in your spirit, find another truth. Something had me feeling really blue, so I took the red pill and now twinkle toes, how I'm stepping towards my goals. Stinging like bees, floating like I'm Appa, Asalam. Guess Adon is your doctor, avatar state. Heal him with the waters, tell me that you love me. Always thinking of me, unconditional. I'm hoping I'm your favorite. Put me on your playlist or on the spaceship. Young black guy, scholars at the station. I don't have friends, just fam. That's why my circle stay close-knit. Used to be big, but I cut it down. Food network, how I chopped it. No chopsticks, but we getting in. No eye squint, but y'all fine print. Can't be seen when it really counts. Meanwhile, me and Eli the best out. So, Lord, please bless me, shit. Cause life gon' catch me quick. And devil tryna catch me slip. But I'm just tryna make me rich. How to catch a vibe, family living right, live your dream. Put your hands up high, wave them side to side. Don't you fret tonight, live your dream. Live your dream, live your dream, live your dream, live your dream, live your, hey. Live your dream.
Aw, that was so cute.
That last one though got me turned up. Period. Yay.
It wasn't completely how I wanted it. There are a couple people who are still missing, but the thing is, not everyone shares videos of what they do on Facebook, so I can only put together what I could find. I'm gonna release the complete one tomorrow on New Year's Day, inshallah. So everyone gets their fair due, because a lot of people are on here, and I wanted to make sure they were all shouted out, and I didn't want to miss anybody. So, but I was trying to slap it all together all day, and I was doing a bunch of other things in between that. So that's what I can present now. But praise be to Allah. I'm glad you all liked it. Did you all like it?
Yeah, it
Yes,
was
it was so
good.
cute.
It was nice.
Praise be to Allah. Zuri, I tried finding something, but I was just like, I only got a picture.
Oh no, I'm glad you didn't.
He
So
said,
now
"No, good."
he said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm in the shadows. That's good. Praise be to Allah." So next I want to do before we go to the tallies and the top five, I want to do a question and answer session. Of course, I can be asked questions as well. If there's anyone on who's watching this on Facebook Live, if you all have a question, is anyone watching?
Yes,
We have a couple people.
second.
Praise be. Any of you who are watching on Facebook Live, if you have questions for any of the guests or myself, the host, please feel free to leave them in the comment section, and Sabbath will read them out to me. But I have a question for the guests that are here and the guests who will be coming, inshallah. How would you say your experience was on the Kareem Talks podcast? And I'll start with Khadija first because she was the very first episode of the year, and it was a powerful episode to start with. So I'm gonna start with you.
I had a very good experience. Y'all know I'm not good at talking. I don't know why you have me go first, but yeah, I had to make sure that everything that I said was, you know, in the right manner. So it was a bit challenging for me, especially if you follow me on my Instagram. But it went good. I mean, I had fun.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Started off very strong. I really suggest you all go watch the very first episode of Kareem Talks. It was a very, very powerful, very informative episode. Especially in any brothers who may be watching this live. Please go watch that episode. Mom, you can go next. How was your experience being on the Kareem Talks podcast?
Why do I have to go next?
I'm just picking Mom.
You should have known I was going to give you a little bit of trouble. See, this is exactly how our episode went, kind of, sort of.
This is exactly how it went. Yep.
So when Kareem was like, "Oh, Mom, you're gonna be on the Kareem," I'm like, "What are we going to?" I'm like, "Are you sure you want to? Are you sure you want me on your show? Because you don't know what I'm going to say."
Well, the best thing about Kareem Talks is it's a safe space, so you can say anything. So,
it was good. I at least what I remember. I still feel like I need to go back and watch that episode, including some of the other ones, because there was so much in the different episodes that I think I shared with you. You know, you can get something out of all of them. I like the fact. So I think one of the things I remember asking you was like, you know, what did you want to do with this, or why you were doing it, and you know, as long as it was for yourself and something that you know, enjoy to do, to me that was important. But also I like the fact that it was so broad. There was so many different topics because, I mean, every individual person is their own personality. They're having their own life experience, and absolutely everybody has something to share, you know. And so this allowed them a platform really just to come on and be themselves. So there didn't have to be anything really prepped for them because it was about their experience. So I think that's one of the major things that I enjoyed about it. I was just like, I don't know what we're gonna talk about, Kareem, but you know, we
found something.
I mean, you know me, I could talk about just about anything. I think now I'm just gonna throw this out there because you mentioned a cooking episode. You got a couple of cooking people on there. You should let us do like a collaboration of something. I'm just gonna throw that out there since we like to cook. That could be a thing.
I'm not against it. I'm a foodie at heart, so.
Chef's Kitchen instead of Hell's Kitchen.
Oh my God. Yeah, but
juice is flowing now. Oh, I have someone else in the waiting room. Anisha made it. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah.
I like the different collaborations.
Welcome.
I like the topics. So yeah, that's all I have for now.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Welcome, Sister Anissa, to our Kareem Talk celebration extravaganza. To those tuning in on Facebook, this is a celebration of the first ever season of Kareem Talks, and what a successful season it was. And right now we're doing a Q&A session with myself, the host, and the guests. And the question that I posed to the guests was how their experience was on the Kareem Talks podcast. So I'm going to take it to the only brother here before he goes, Zuri. How was your experience on the show?
My experience was really good. You know, when you had first brung it up, I was kind of skeptical because I don't really be doing at the time. I ain't really be doing stuff like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not that podcast stuff or speaking in public, and it helped me start speaking more in public. And the podcast itself, it was mad fun. Like right after we finished it, I played it right back from so my brother could hear it too. You know what I'm saying? It was just a really don't lie. It was just a really fun experience.
Praise be to Allah. Yeah, we had fun in that episode. Not all Kareem Talks episodes are about serious topics. We do talk about other things as well. Zuri happened to be on an episode with Hashim and Aaron and another one of my friends, Alton, and we talked about anime for hours. And I was taken to the Church of One Piece, and what a sermon it was. And I left out of there with an understanding as to why it's one of the greatest anime of all time. Not my personal favorite, but hey, if it's good, it's good. So thank you, Zuri. And Zinga, you're up. How was your experience on the multiple episodes you've been on?
Y'all can hear me?
Of course.
I had to call. Okay. It was good actually. It was very. I think like Zoe has said, it helped with public speaking. Cause even though y'all call me student minister, look, I've been on a rostrum since BC before Corona. So I don't know.
Before Corona.
BC 2020 BC. Okay. So I don't know. But it did help. And it was good that you didn't. I like the fact that you didn't keep me in one topic, and that you gave me an opportunity to be diverse in that way. So it was a good experience, and it showed, my versatility and also yours, that we can talk about different things, and on the same show, and it'd be completely fine. So
Praise
yeah.
be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. And yes, Nzinga and her brother Allende were on multiple episodes. Sister Khadija was as well. And there were both serious topics discussed and there were fun topics discussed. But I'm probably, if we're being honest, I'm only going to do one episode on Ramadan. If anyone has any Ramadan tips or things that they need, they can go back to season 1. We ain't doing nothing for season 2. Because what's left to go over? Everything was done in that one episode. So you all can go back and watch that on season 1. I'm gonna ask the question now to Sister Anissa. Can you hear us? Are you there, Anissa? Yes? No?
Yes, I am here. I have all of my nephews in the back.
Gotcha. How was your experience on the show? And before you answer that, Anissa is actually the reason I moved to the Zoom platform, because before I was just doing this strictly audio, and after Anissa's episode, I started getting more comfortable on the camera, and I decided to go to video, and now I have episodes on YouTube, soon to be on Facebook. So shout out to Sister Anissa for that. Praise be to Allah, my fellow cancer sister. But how was your experience on the Kareem Talks podcast?
First, all praises to Allah. We love inspiring others. And my experience was, I think, first of all, it was my first, I want to say that was my first interview. So my experience was beautiful, as it being my first interview and having it with the believers. It's always an honor to be able to sit and chat. Can you give me just 2 seconds? It's always
You got chilling in the background. She got chilling.
Straight chilling. Country, ghetto, without making that. It's always an honor to have the believers one, support you and want you to be a part of what they're doing. That's like, okay, put it like this. It goes back. I was actually watching Savior's Day part 2021 today, 2019 Savior's Day. And the minister was talking about the prophet or messenger has basically honor everywhere else but in his own home, right? And he was talking about all the places where he got this staff and this feds and da 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 da, but his prized one, like the one that he loved the most. I'm so sorry about this background.
Love the family though. The energy is always on 10. Your family's always on 10.
Always. It's the ghetto here. But I'm gonna try to wrap it up. He said that the one that he loved the most was the one that he got from that fraternity that wears purple. I can't remember what their name is. But that's the one that he loved the most because it came from
Omega Psi, yeah.
Yes, because it came from his people in his own land. So the fact that his people gave him something and they wanted him to be a part of something was the most honorable for him. So I say all that to say it's beautiful. It was beautiful for me to even, you were asking me like, oh, I'm so happy that you're going to be on, but I'm happy to even be on because I'm like, somebody asking me to be a part of their stuff. So yeah, the experience was all praise to Allah.
Praise to Allah. Got to keep it prodigious, right?
Yes, keep it prodigious. And if I pop off soon, it's no disrespect. It's literally, he's climbing on the table. It's ghetto here, okay? So
it be like that. It bees like that. But thank you for being a part of the first season, and thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone, because let me tell you, I was so comfortable doing audit. Oh, you gotta go. Of course, you gotta go. Can't keep people away from their family. It's New Year's Eve. Totally understand that. But thank you for being on the show, and thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone. I really appreciate that.
Praise be to Allah. I'm gonna head out now. I'm so sorry.
Gotcha.
It's a hectic. I love you all.
Wa alaikum salam, of course. This is only gonna go on for like an hour, cutting it out at 8:30 because we have family things I want to do. But Sabbath, how was your experience on the show?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I pray that all is well. My experience was beautiful. Well, I actually been on twice. Do we count? What do we count? Do we count Instagram or don't we?
Can't count Instagram.
Can't count.
That was unofficial.
So I've been on once, according to what we can count. That one we recording, and it was just basically talking about the beauty of courtship, and it was beautiful for me because I had already been through some mistakes, rightfully so, that I know that other people could benefit from. So that's the beauty of mistakes. Other people benefit from those. So Allah sees all. But it was beautiful because it was natural. I was with my best friend. Praise be to Allah. So it was great. I've seen your work, Kareem. I watched literally almost every episode. And you are very good at what you do. So
praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Do we have any questions from the Facebook audience?
Yes, we do. We have one question. A question for the host. What inspired you to start your podcast?
What inspired me to start the podcast? Okay. So this kind of started as just like quote a little hobby. That was the Instagram era. And I really wanted to create a platform to where believers can come on and the world could see that we are not, and I said this on Clubhouse not too long ago, that we are not dogmatic religious robots. We are people. We are talented people. We are people with our own thoughts, our own mind, our own interests. That's another reason why I started the blurb page on Facebook. But we're not just people who go to the mosque, do our rakahs, fast, give charity, go home and go to sleep and do everything over again. The people I've had on the podcast range from rappers to dancers to painters, people who are interested in the arts, interested in politics, interested in the astral plane. Like we are all we're what's the word I'm looking for?
Multifaceted.
Multifaceted. Thanks, Mom. That's what we are. I mean, it's natural because we're Black, and we originated everything. There's nothing new under the sun, but we cover so much, and I want people to see that, as even though we are Muslims and we have our faith, that we're human beings with interests as well. So, and interests and views on certain topics. So being able to provide that platform, it makes me feel good because I'm putting this person out to the world to show them that, hey, look at this person, look what they're saying, look what they're doing, and look how amazing that is. And all praise is due to Allah for it. So that is the answer to that question. So any other ones? Yes, no, maybe so?
No, not at this time, but I'm watching Facebook Live. So you guys go ahead and put your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'm watching.
Now, do any of the guests have a question for the host? So anyone? Yes, no.
Wait.
Oh, you're right, Ilyas. I
was
so sorry.
waiting. I was like,
I was so sorry.
was
How was
my
your experience on
question.
how was your experience on
My
the Kareem Talk
question, how
podcast?
was,
See, part of it was because I was just like, I didn't want to ask you that question with Sakina because I know you two, but Khadijah's here as well. So how was your experience? How was your experience?
well, you gotta
You're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. But mine was super fun because I got to have a really lighthearted topic like K-pop, which was fun. And the thing is, I know like 4 or 5 people max who are into K-pop, and 2 of them were on there with me. So like to be able to have an outlet to talk about it and talk about something that I'm interested in and genuinely just get to say like whatever I want about it, that was super fun. And it was really nice. It was a nice environment. It was a nice vibe. And it was fun just to be able to talk about what I wanted to talk about when I don't get an outlet to do that. So I was really thankful for that.
Praise be to Allah. Yeah, that K-pop episode was loaded. I learned a lot. Beyond, there's the world beyond Psy, and there's so much music I still need to listen to.
Listen, K-pop is really good. I had not a clue, and now I'm just like, I hear it almost all the time now. If I knew when the episode was on, I would have came on so I could get a little more information. Yes, K-pop fan over here. Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's real. I would have never known K-pop would blow up like it did. No, I should have known. But it was a fun episode. I learned a lot. And we had a lot of laughs too. We got to address a couple of quote unquote stereotypes. For those of you who would like to know, go watch the episode. Asked some certain questions on there, and we got them answered in the best way possible. Again, apologize for forgetting you. So sorry. My mind was just like on. Okay. On to the next thing. But does anyone have a question for the host from the guests? If not, from the audience watching on Facebook.
What was your favorite episode to do?
Ooh, that one's a tough one. I would have to say it's a toss-up because there were 2 serious episodes that I really enjoyed doing. And tell you what, instead of a favorite, because it's really hard, I can give you 2 serious episodes and I can give you 2 fun episodes. The fun episodes were the episode I did with your brother Zuri. That was absolutely crazy because we got into a little debate because Hashim and Zuri were trying to defend the honor of One Piece, and it was just very funny. and of course we had the Naruto versus Dragon Ball Z debate. It just got very, very wild on that episode. But when you play it back, I couldn't help but laugh at the antics of what was going on, and also because I'm a wrestling fan, my other favorite episode that I enjoyed doing was the wrestling talk with Tariq, Javi, Brian, and Kukai, who unfortunately could not make it this evening. Um, but yeah, that was fun too. I love talking about wrestling with other people. There's not a lot of people I can, just like with the K-pop episode, there's not a lot of people I can talk to about wrestling. That will be super interesting. We share different ideas, concepts. Why is wrestling still going on? The pandemic, etc., etc. Who they should hire, who they should put. It was so much, and um, it was so good. I'm doing another one in the second season, but and we're focusing particularly on Black wrestlers because they don't get a lot of shine like everyone else. So that was fun. Now, as far as the serious episodes, um, the Respect and Protect the Black Woman Part 2 with Allende, Clutchmaster, because he's been basically basically on every episode like his sister, and having Brother Daryl and Brother Minister Abdul Sharif on there. It was an honor to do that episode because we did the first episode with Nzinga and Khadija, and I felt like a sequel needed to be done because now we've addressed the issues. Now we have to bring the solutions, and who better to give the solution than men who have been consistently proving themselves to be protectors and people who respect and honor Black women. That, and they're married to Black women. So, and
So to sum it up,
yes.
It wasn't mine. That's fine. That's fine. That's cool.
I'm sorry.
That's cool. That's cool. I got you.
I mean, I like K-pop. I'm just not big on K-pop. Everyone has their thing. I can't go without mentioning this episode. The episode I did with Dero, Born Visionaries, that really just, it opened my mind as to what I could do with this podcast. And I was like, I should be doing more. I can do more. Look what this man is doing. And he still has things in his pocket that he hasn't done yet. And I was just so inspired just by the stuff that he's done already with Skin Deep and all of his music videos with New World. So that was a personal favorite of mine. And Luna Alnuras, because she and I both talked about coming out of our shell, and there was a moment in that episode where she remembers the first time she had seen me. We didn't formally meet, but the first time she saw me was in the bear suit at Savior's Day. And that, just seeing that, she was just like, I've never seen someone do that before. That's actually really neat. And that touched me. So that episode has a special place in my heart as well. So those are my top 5, and not in any particular order. So yeah.
So I need to interject into this conversation. So I'm trying to figure out where the shell ever came. So I got to see most of the behind the scenes Kareem, growing up. And Kareem has always been animated. Kareem has always been a character, a personality. And the type of mother that I am, like, I encourage my children to be themselves. I don't know if you remember this, Kareem, but I was just like, okay, when you all leave the house, come back as you were, or go back and find the original. Don't allow things that are going on in the world to change you who you are, because you can only be happy genuinely being yourself. So, for me as your mom, to hear you say that, having any issues about coming out of your shell or wherever this shell, I'm just like, well, where did the shell come from? And I guess it would make me ask, what would make people shy away from what it is that's their natural gifts and abilities, and not want to share that? Because for myself as your parent, I encourage that. So what is it that made it take so long? Like for me, I could always see, I was just like, okay, this child is going to be in something dramatic, because that was just who you were. I was like, he's either going to be acting or doing something, that because that was who your personality was. And I said, as your mother, knowing that that was something that was a part of you, I would want to encourage that and hope that it would take you, to ultimately whatever you wanted to do, and be successful at it. So what is it that makes, I guess anybody retreat into their shells? And I guess I would ask the other guests as well, what encourages you to continue being yourself and shining, in spite of whatever else that comes from the outside? Because I know for myself as a creative person, you're not always encouraged to do that, which is one of the reasons why I push for it, most of the time, because that's your happy place. That's who you are. That's your gift, given to you by your creator. So what is it that helps keep you all motivated? But Kareem, first, answer the question of why would it have been difficult or challenging for you to do it in the first place?
I think for me, there was a certain period as to where I made the mistake of conforming, and there were only few instances where I got to get away from that for a bit and be myself. Otherwise, it was looked down upon. Like it was there a lot for most of my childhood, but from adolescence almost into adulthood, I felt like I had to lock part of that up because it was quote unquote, this was not the way, especially being within the Nation of Islam. I had to put certain things away and I had to put something else out in front. And because of that, I wasn't as balanced as I could be. And then as time went on, I started to get back being comfortable with myself. And at a certain point, I was just like, I don't care anymore because,
But
yeah,
but for me, I think
yeah.
that's the problem, because
Mhm.
one of the first things that I remember coming to the nation is
Mm,
accept your own and be
be
yourself.
yourself.
So if you're not being yourself, I think that's a problem. And I've never heard the minister discourage anybody from being themselves.
Mm,
You know, that's why I think having your mind and being studied, is very important,
mm,
because sometimes people will use the truth to destroy other people.
that's very
Because
true.
they're not living their truth, and or they're not being their self. So I don't get that. But I would say that that aspect is nothing to do with the nation. Especially, I've never heard. I mean, if God gives you a gift, nobody can take it away from you.
Mm,
So for somebody to tell you that being yourself and using your gift is not the way, they would have to find a way to justify. How do you justify that?
mm.
How do you say? How do you tell somebody not to be themselves, especially if it's not something that's bad? You know.
Right. I guess the way it was, because there's a way of saying things, and the way it was presented, it was interpreted as, oh no, you should not be doing this. This is what you should actually be doing, you know.
Mm.
And
And then I
yeah.
would challenge that person to be like, well, are you what? And what do you? Never mind. Sorry.
Too real for TV. But
See that? See. You knew
mhm,
better than to let me know, because I would have been. Uh,
yeah.
uh,
But that was then, and this is now, and now I am 100%. I can say that confidently, comfortable in being myself. So praise be to Allah. Anyone else would like to tackle that powerful question my mom posed? If anyone else would like to tackle it, Savage? No.
I, 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 I,
Um, the question was like how how would you how even being in this nation system would you struggle with basically being yourself? Because we're taught to accept our own and be ourselves. So where would that difficulty come from? Should you run into that difficulty? So.
Well, I mean, because sometimes what I was saying is that people will try to put out your light, because they're not being themselves, so they extinguish other people's light.
Mm,
So what is it that keeps you all? Because you've had quite a few guests on there that you invited because they are shining, because they're being themselves, because they're doing what it is that they love, and it's their expression. So what helps them to stay encouraged and to do those things? Because I think if you all share those things, then you can help others
mm,
um, who may be shying away from their own light as a result of maybe what somebody said to them about their, who they are.
mm.
Well, for me, it's very close to what my
Come
mother-in-law.
close to the screen so they can see you. Let that beauty shine through. There we
Lord,
go. There we go.
Okay, but for me, it was very close to what my mother-in-law said. I think it, for me, once I realized that I was being polytheist, and that's the word that stuck out to me when I realized what I was doing, why I had to be like other people, why I was conformed to fit into the status quo. What is the status quo? That's defined by people. So why can I be my status quo, which Allah placed within me? So when I realized that the root of it was worship, and I
Mm,
say that very strongly because that's what it was. Why am I trying to please you? That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to please someone's idea of how people should be. And so when I realized that, oh, Sabbath, you are worship, that's worship. You're being polytheist right now.
mm,
So when I realized that I was not admitting to whom Allah wanted me to be, then I was like, oh, you got to cut it out because Allah made you just like he made them. Whatever they got going on, that's between themselves and Allah. But what you have going on is between you and Allah, and you're not doing it.
yeah.
So when I realized that I was being polytheist, that's when I said, you know what, I'm not going to do what others, how people perceive people should be. And it's crazy. Perception is a crazy thing because our study guides talk about perception versus reality. But
mm,
anyway, perception is crazy because you didn't make yourself. So you're over here trying to push the idea, but where does that idea comes from you? That doesn't come from God. So if it doesn't come from God, then it's the messenger says things 5 times before you speak. You may be right. He didn't even say you will. He
He
said
said you might be.
you may be right. So that perception comes from you, and who are you? Not in an arrogant way, but who are we to say how people should be when we did not make ourselves?
mm,
So it was just that realization because I've always strived to be. My mother is very studious, and I've always strived to be very studious myself. So when I realized that the root of it was actually worship, it was actually polytheism. I made them a god because I was trying to please them. So
mm,
when I realized that, I cut it out like almost immediately, but it took a minute because I was doing it for a while. So it did take a minute for that realization to come. It was like, wait, why am I, shutting myself out? So that's what that was for me. I didn't have a lot of people around me necessarily. Well, let me rephrase that.
mm,
I didn't have a lot of friends around me. That's what I should say. There were people around me, but I didn't have a
mm,
lot of friends around me. And so I did not, I guess I gained that confidence in myself
mm,
through my relationship with Allah.
mm.
So whereas some people may be inspired by Kareem talks, I wasn't on social media. So I literally I wasn't on social media like that. So I really had to pull out of well, let me rephrase that statement.
Mhm.
Allah had to pull out of me what I needed. So there's that answer.
Praise be to Allah. Wonderful answers. Before we continue, is there anyone on Facebook, at all that has a question for myself or the hosts? Before we continue, because we're getting ready to hit the 8:30 mark, and I want to give the official tally of how many streams Kareem Talks has gotten, and the top 5 male episodes with male guests, the top 5 episodes with female guests, and the top 5 overall. So if there's any questions, and I'm gonna wait a couple minutes.
We have a lot of assalamu alaikums from our
Walaikum
Facebook
salam from
family.
everybody. Walaikum salam. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them now. Otherwise, we are going to get to this tally. So, as of December 31st, 2020, Kareem Talks has had a total of 971 plays for the entire year. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Just shy of 1K. Just shy of 1K. But I'll get there. Season 2 will definitely get me there. Season 2 will most definitely get me there. With the highest amount being played in the summer, 75. In the summer, it just spiked. Numbers just went up. So praise be to Allah. The top 5 episodes with male guests were, I'm going to pull them up now on my phone. Praise be to Allah. Everyone having a good time?
Yes, sir.
All righty. So, first episode, the top 3 episodes for Kareem Talks with male guests was episode 14 with 24 plays. That was Wrestling Talk. That was the earlier episode with wrestling, 24 plays. Episode 9 with 31 plays. That was Born Visionaries with D-Row. He couldn't make it tonight, but he's here with us in spirit. Praise be to Allah. In third place, episode 2 with 33 plays, and that episode was featuring Hashim, and we were going over our favorite lectures by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Praise be to Allah. 33 plays. In second place, episode 6 with Allende with 46 plays. No, 43, my fault. 43 plays. 43 plays. And just at 2 points more, episode 4 with Golden Child, 45 plays. So these are the top 5 most viewed episodes for the male guests for Kareem Talk. Let's give these brothers a round of applause. Praise be to Allah. I enjoyed having them all on. Praise be to Allah. Now, the top 5 female guests. And if I'm being honest, it's the same list as the top 5 overall, because the sisters have just been, they've covered the board for the whole year. So, top 5. We're just gonna say top 5. We're just gonna say top 5. The top 5 episodes for Kareem Talks, coming in at 51 plays, episode 5 with Luna Al Nura. Episode, and it's going too fast. It's going too fast for me. It's going too fast. Hold on, I gotta reload it. It's going too fast for me. Okay, so try that again. With 51 plays, episode 5 with Luna Al Nura. Wonderful episode. Coming in fourth place, episode 15, with 53 plays. And this episode was featuring two people. We gave that spot to Nzinga, because she was featured on there with Sister Khadijah. But that episode, Respect and Protect the Black Woman, had 53 plays, so it's in fourth place. Third place, Sister Anissa, We Are Prodigious. That was episode 7 with 55 plays. All praise is due to Allah. That was a good episode. That was a powerful episode. In second place, the very first episode with Sister Khadijah at 69 plays.
Yay!
It's 69 plays, the very first episode. And it was at number one for a minute. It was at number one for a minute for most of the year. It was a very powerful episode. Again, I implore you, go watch it. Go watch it. If you are a brother especially, go watch it. And at number one, in first place, the Asia Minor, Sister Asia, all the way from the West Coast. She can make it this evening. Episode 10 with 80.
I am also from the West Coast. So
I mean, I guess it's still a win for you then.
Almost from the West Coast.
I guess it's still technically a win then. But Sister Asia, congratulations on having the top season 1 episode of Kareem Talks, 81 plays. And the crazy thing about that episode is that was the hardest to pull off because of the time difference. And we kept having so many technical issues. Her mic kept going off. We kept getting shut out. Signal was bad. Everything. At one point, we could barely hear one another. But we pulled it off, and it got 81 episodes. It's crazy. Praise be to Allah. And Kareem Talks is being streamed in places such as, I'm going to pull them up. Of course, the United States, Canada, Ireland, India, the United Kingdom, Puerto Rico, Somalia, Switzerland, and Germany.
Woo!
Kareem Talks is international. Of course, most of my viewers are from the US, but to have people from all these different walks of life tuning in, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and I don't take it for granted. So to everyone who has ever watched or listened to Kareem Talks, thank you so much. Now we're gonna wrap it up because it's New Year's Eve and we all have things that we want to do. So I want to wrap it up by unveiling one last thing. And to those of you who just couldn't make it, you'll have to see it tomorrow. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to bring it up now. Hold on just a minute. Let's see if I could change these icons so I could find it. View by large icons. It's just not showing. It's just not showing for whatever reason. It's not loading. If I can't bring it up, we'll just have to end it here and everyone will have to see it tomorrow. But I was going to unveil a new logo for the Kareem Talks podcast, to bring in the new year, out with the old and with the new. But it seems my computer is just not cooperating with me. So, unfortunately, you all will have to see the new logo tomorrow. I apologize. But you're going to like it. I know that much. So, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to everyone watching on Facebook Live. It is you all and the guest that have made Kareem Talks what it is. And I thank you so much for supporting me. And you know what? I can't show you the logo, but I can at least show you all the roster for season.
No, let it be a surprise.
No?
No.
Tomorrow? Wait till tomorrow? Okay. All right.
Make the
Okay.
people wait for it.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will hold off. I will hold off. But thank you all. Thank you all so much. And I appreciate everyone that was able to come on. For those who missed the tribute video, you will be able to see it tomorrow on the Kareem Talks page, completed, inshallah. And yeah, thank you. This has been Kareem Talks. I'm Kareem. These are some of my guests who were able to witness it. You all, may Allah bless you all with peace in the new year, because I'm sure we're all ready to get out of 2020. And you all have a wonderful evening, a blessed evening, a peaceful evening. Stay indoors, social distance, wear your mask. Peace. See ya.